info. I'm telling you, last time you were here, you just shot out some symptoms that made us all think, because there are things I think we think about all the time. It's just being normal, especially for a woman.
And or another way to look at it is there are tons of things that we just don't think about that we should be thinking about.
Absolutely. And a lot of the statistics that you gave us had to do with women. Now, I'm going to ask, and this may be a dumb question, but does the woman's heart differ physically than a male's heart?
You know, in many ways, a female heart is often smaller. We have vessels that are smaller. The heart beats a little bit faster, but still has to pump the same amount of blood. So in some ways, there's more effort. And, that comes together with something that we call microvascular disease. So a lot of small vessels in the heart that oftentimes go unrecognized with our standard cardiac workups. And it's those small vessels, microvascular disease, that women are more often going to be subjected to, and can give you sort of those vague symptoms, chest pain, where nobody can figure out the reason
what's going on.
That's right.
And it's really our heart's just working harder than the men's.
That's right.
Isn't that shocking?
That's right. It's a little harder, and we've got smaller vessels. I mean, isn't that the story of our lives? We're always working harder with less. We've got to do more with less.
And not even recognize what's going wrong in the first place. So that makes it very difficult, but so crucial, because it is the #1 killer of women. The smaller vessels, does that kind of come into play once you do realize that's what's going on, when you go to diagnose and then actually treat it? Does that make it harder to treat?
It does make it harder to treat because it's harder to recognize. We still don't have gender-specific therapy and diagnostic tools for women. I talk about this all the time. So it's sort of a one-size-fits-all. Here's all the research that was done on men. Here's all the data that we have on men. And here are the tests that we know work on men. But we extrapolate it to everyone. We don't think about it that way. We think about it, here are the tests that are done. Here's the research that is done. Here's the data. Why isn't it working for everybody? But we don't even ask that question. We don't ask, why isn't it working? We say, it's working great for everybody.
For everyone, exactly. But it's not the case. And then you add in all the estrogen that's going on. And especially when you bring in perimenopause, menopause, everything's changing.
That's right. I mean, estrogen is a cardioprotectant factor for the heart, really for all the organs in a woman's body. And that hormonal milieu actually drives part of the functioning of the heart. So as we lose estrogen, not only is our cardiac risk increasing. In fact, it doubles during that period of time. Our risk of a heart attack doubles to equal that of a man. But our risk factors are impacted. So blood pressure starts to go up because estrogen receptors are on the arteries, and now those arteries become stiffer. Cholesterol starts to creep up. We start to lose sleep. All of these are independent risk factors for heart disease. But then during perimenopause, they all happen at once. So no surprise that our risk of heart disease doubles. And then while our risk of heart disease doubles, the system is ignoring us because, our symptoms are atypical.
Sure, we can't
We've got twice the risk, but the symptoms are not really recognized.
I'm glad you're calling attention to it, for sure. You said something there, and it got me thinking, because probably about that time, I realized my cholesterol was going up, yet I didn't change anything in my exercise, my diet, and I have friends who say the same. So that's actually, your cholesterol is potentially going up because your estrogen's decreasing. Wow.
That's right. There's nothing you can do about it, and it impacts your metabolism. So now you're gaining weight, even though you're eating the same thing. You're doing the same amount of exercise. Now the weight's going in the middle, where it used to be in the hips. Now it's going more in the stomach.
Which is a huge risk factor.
That's right. That's a risk factor. That's visceral fat that has a lot of inflammatory factors attached to it. All of that is because of the loss of the hormonal milieu. Estrogen is our friend.
So glad we're talking about
It's keeping us healthy. It's keeping our heart healthy. It's keeping our bones healthy. It's keeping us active. It's keeping our metabolism up.
Everything. And now it's only being recognized that that's such an issue. Real quick, let's talk about those palpitations, because I feel like women think it's always an anxiety attack or something's going on. We're nervous. It's panic. It's a reaction. But that's not always the case.
Not only do women think it, the health system thinks that too. Oh, here's another histrionic woman. Here's another, whining woman. Here's another anxious woman. And listen, Anxiety does increase as well with loss of hormones. You start to feel more anxious. You don't have that settling feeling. You know, the most common presenting symptom, and I've heard Dr. Mary Claire Haver say this so many times, women come in to say, I just don't feel myself. Most common presenting symptom.
Best thing to go to the doctor.
That's
then.
right. And so palpitations are actually quite common for all the same reasons. There's less estrogen binding to those estrogen receptors on the heart, and the heart knows it.
This is fascinating. I'm so glad that the research is coming forward, that we're not crazy. We know something's going on, and we can be proactive about our health before something actually happens.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, you need to come back because you always bring all the good stuff. And of course, we'll share all Dr. Morgan's info on BloomTampaBay.com. Stay with us. Bloom will be right back.